Hello, welcome back to another video on the channel where healing and spiritual growth are front and center. And this video shout out goes to someone that goes by Outlaws Like Me. Thank you for your continued support. And we are going to cover part 2 on how narcs tell on themselves. Yes, because wow, it's amazing because we got to be paying attention to catch them. And whenever we get further along, y'all hang tight. We get further along in the spiritual awakening and in God's reality, and we're getting that heightened awareness. Can pick up on it's like God perks up our spiritual ears, okay, along with our spiritual eyes, for that matter. And so we start to notice these things. And so, fellow warrior, I got the notes. And more coming, y'all. More coming. And I'll tell you, even though a lot of it it was just like, wow. And so, whenever y'all hear one of these, and you have experienced a similar thing, let's get the conversation going down there in the comments, shall we? Because it's really, really cool in a way, because this will help y'all be able to spot, I don't know if we want to call, I guess you could say it's a bit of a red flag when they tell on themselves. Because the thing is that they're telling us who they really are. Seriously, they are. And remember, they are crept in unawares. But as always, I want to go ahead and give y'all something to meditate on that is kind of very relevant. Remember the book of Proverbs, you all? Not just Romans and 2 Timothy 3 and other places, but the whole book of Proverbs is full of the behaviors of the narcissistic abuser, excuse me. Okay, just remember that. And so it's a great place to learn more about all of this, okay, that we are facing in the spiritual battle for the mind. Yes. Okay. So, chapter 10, verse 2. Treasures of the wickedness profit nothing, but righteousness delivereth from death. The Lord will not suffer the soul of the righteous to famish, but he casteth away the substance of the wicked. Remember how God he'll remove them from our lives and things like that in many ways. Okay? And then I want to go down to, let's go to verse 8, chapter 10, verse 8, because it says, the wise in heart will receive commandment, but a prating fool shall fall. Yep. Verse 9, he that walketh uprightly walketh surely, but not with haughtiness or arrogance or anything like that, but that healthy level of confidence. But he that perverteth his ways shall be known. Right? The narc abuser, they pervert their ways. Alright, and so in a lot of ways, perverting their ways is by telling on themselves. Absolutely. So let's jump right in, shall we? Alright. Fellow warrior. Okay? Fellow warrior, this was great. The fellow warrior just, boom, asked the narc, do you think everything you say is right? And the narc, and very, cocky, too, of course I do. It's not surprised. Then the warrior goes, and that's how they tell on themselves. Remember, narcs think that they're always right. So, it's not surprising that he would do, of course he does. He thinks that everything he says is right. Okay. Then the warrior asked the narc, says, well, what about doing some research, weighing out the potential consequences, a plan, and then formulating a plan to fact check to make sure that basically what you said is right. And the narc responds, no, that's government. I'm going to leave that one right there. Okay, in other words, That's the narc admitting that they're lazy, but they don't want to take the time to do some research and fact check themselves. Because remember, they've got that high-mindedness. So once they have convinced themselves that they are right and everybody else is wrong, once they have done that, see, this is why the narc cannot admit when they're wrong. All right? No, I mean, if there's something to gain in it, they might. Only if there's a benefit in it for them. Okay? That's right. So, what he ended up doing was that circular talk with a particular topic that the only thing he knows about. But then I want to go ahead and share this statement because this jumped right out at me, and it's a classic example of the superiority. Hold on a second. The superiority. Thank you. I had to slow down a little bit. It's a part of their need to feel superior. Okay, it's that complex that they have, that high-mindedness, everything. Okay, this is classic. This illustrates that. When the narc just flat out says he has low regard for the average citizen. In other words, he just admitted that he believes he has no respect or anything for anyone he views as being below him. Okay? Never forget, that is classic. Okay? Classic. He also admits to the celebrating demons. Yeah. Alright, because some of them, they say that their favorite holiday happens to be Halloween. But in his reasoning behind it to celebrate demons, okay, and he even admitted there are evil people, but they, then goes right back to talking about the holiday, and then, okay, whatever, pagan holiday, that we all come to learn. Yes, I talk more about all of that man tradition stuff over on the Patreon channel, so we'll leave that there. Alright, so, okay, and then he also just flat out, as the fellow warrior was, talking about, the greatness of heaven. Heaven being a peaceful place, things like that, right? And the narc, flat out, he blurts out, heaven doesn't sound like fun. Well, we understand why the narc would think that. Because narcs don't like calm, peace, joy, happiness, and love. That's heaven, the kingdom of God within. Wow, amazing. Alright, so, and he also admitted that he liked worldly pleasures. Okay, he liked the worldly pleasures, okay, over pleasing God. And he even said that the concept of heaven is stupid. And so he also proceeded to mock Jesus and God, and then tries to backtrack with the classic, oh, I was just joking. No, he was not joking. Alright, I saw the body language and the facial expressions that went with it, y'all. So just hear me out, alright? Because I saw the everything that went into as that was coming out of his mouth. Okay, he meant what he said. He was not joking. And then he also described witnessing a bird dying, and he had that sinister smile and that sinister cackle, that laugh, that wicked laugh. I was like, whoa, okay. And then they get onto the topic of black and white thinking, hot and cold and stuff like that. And so the narc flat out says, I don't care what you feel. Classic! Alright, so, then the warrior points out that the narc likes to just have that one particular conversation over and over again. Nothing new under the sun. Okay? Yep. And so, I also noticed that some of the other questions that the fellow warrior was asking, the narc deliberately avoided and switched and went right back to his favorite topic, which I talk about again over there on Patreon. Alright? And so, okay, now, fellow warrior asked the narc, are you closer to your mom or your dad? The narc says, probably my dad, then proceeds to complain about his mother's movie choices. And then the fellow warrior asked, well, who did you confide in the most? And the narc says, well, my family doesn't do a lot of confiding in anyone. Fact! I would tell y'all from several narc family case studies, that's a fact. They do not, okay? They don't, okay? They don't, a whole family of narcs, they don't confide in one another. Absolutely not. Instead, what they do is they prefer to sit around and gossip about everybody else and brag about themselves and dish out the abuse to each other. That's what a narc family does. They don't confide in each other. And then here's another intriguing admission from the narc about his family. No one ever knew what was going on. That's why I had no clue what I was doing. We had a dysfunctional family. So he knew. I mean, none of us has a perfect family, okay? Every family's got some dysfunction, but we're talking about, apparently from some other things that he admitted to, okay, with all of that about the family. He pretty much, his whole family, okay, full of narcs. And then here's the other thing the narc admits. He says, my brain was just a scatterbrain. And then he also admitted that he had the inability to focus and concentrate, okay? And then he also admitted to still having, at his older age, at adult, so to speak, older adult age, he admitted to still having a scatterbrain issues. And then he admitted that his brain won't function properly, but he also gives an excuse for it, blaming something and someone else. All right, and then he also, oh my gosh, he used the Lord's name in vain a lot. Okay, and he was also very touchy-feely. Okay, so as the fellow warrior was gathering the data, he kept trying to, very, very touchy-feely. Watch out for that, y'all. Watch out for that, because that really, not only is he married, but that's not professional. Watch out for that kind of thing. That's not cool. All right, that's unacceptable, perverted. What did God tell us there? Proverbs 10, right? Okay. So, and fellow warrior, I appreciate some of the clips were a bit difficult to decipher. So I just want to say a quick thank you on one of them for the behind the scenes sharing kind of thing. Okay, y'all. Thank you for that. But I couldn't get anything audible. Okay, out of that one. It was one of the short, less than a minute one. All right, so we didn't miss anything. I'm pretty sure. But anyway, another thing I noticed is that the conversation that they would have always ended with the narc going into competition mode. Remember something, y'all. Narcs love to compete. Okay, remember, they love that one-upmanship game. All right, they love to compete. All right, now, warrior asked the narc another question. Do you prefer attention, adoration, or love? And the narc just, love sucks. Wow. And he also he says his frontal lobe is all domineering. Classic. We know this. Okay, because remember, narcs are all about control. Alright, so, and then the warrior tried to point out, because the narc brought up something, and the warrior was trying to point out to the narc that, okay, but that wasn't about you. And the narc turns around and interrupts her and says, no, it was about me. See, that's part of how they take everything personal. When I can tell you that what it was had nothing to do with him. But he made it about himself. Okay? Alright, and then he claimed that he doesn't like adoration. But here's the one thing we all know. And when they do that, we know they very much do like adoration and being their ego stroked and being put on a pedestal. So they most absolutely do want the attention and the adoration. They don't want the love. He just basically confirmed that one right there. They don't want the love. Because remember, y'all, about what? God's spirit. That's love. Okay? Love is very peaceful. It's very calm, right? And you know, it's amazing, okay? But it makes the narcs uncomfortable because they don't like that calmness and that peace and all of that stuff. They don't like it, okay? And then also, it was a word salad, okay? Because the fellow warrior asked, said, okay, because she was talking about God and said she's in God's reality and things like that. And she's come a long way, kudos, to be able to do this. It's awesome. And hey, by the way, fellow warrior, I'm here to tell you we got something to work on, you know, because you're doing a great job. Okay, I know you might feel like you're not good at this kind of thing, but you're doing fantastic. Okay, so don't put yourself down over that. You're doing fantastic. It's all good. God is the one guiding your step. All right, and so narcs get very uncomfortable when they are asked a question like this. Says, where, you know, the warrior asked, where do we go after we die? And so what he did is he came back with, and I'm just going to tell y'all, word salad. I was not about to even write that down verbatim. All I can tell you in summary is he just went into some scientific quantum stuff. Okay? Talking about atoms and particles, and I'm going to tell y'all, none of it that he said made a lick of freaking sense. It was total word salad. Okay? And then he basically, okay, and they got on the topic of the difference between evil and good. And he thinks that his particular topic, okay, that he's talking about, that he always likes to talk about, is, you know, oh my gosh, he thinks that's good. Clearly, he does not know the difference between the actual good and the actual evil. He does not. All right, everyone, so we are going to leave. I've got tons more coming, okay, y'all? Because, yeah, this was, and again, you know, to help you all continue to learn and grow, okay? To continue to learn and grow. And I'm making myself a quick note, because going to have a part 3 coming as soon as I can get all of the notes and things like that. I gotta listen and write things down. So, as always, y'all, hey, you know, like I said at the very beginning, if you can think of some other times that the narc made a confession to you about how they truly feel, all right? Let's get it. Let's get it in the comments below, so that others can learn and continue to grow and heal and raise that awareness. There you go. That's what it's all about. So, as always, everyone, you know, I'm going to, because if you stay tuned, you know, as I say, sending love and light to all fellow warriors is in the next clip that I have attached for you all who would like to learn more about the Patreon channel, you know, what it is and how and what you'll find over there and things like that. Okay? So, as always, and I'm going to put the end screen over in that one as well. So, stay tuned. Thank you as always for your continued support. You know, y'all mean a lot to us. Okay? We'll see you next time. Hello. Want to learn about real-world connection to the spiritual realm? You can do just that by joining us on the Patreon channel, where we branch out from the YouTube channel with more of God's wisdom. God instructed me not to accept tips or donations per Galatians 4:9, and had me launch the Patreon channel, where you all can sign up as a patron for as little as $5 a month. Thank you in advance for becoming a patron and supporting this ministry and work. Love and light always, in Jesus' name. Amen.